We're gonna talk to some people, gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna learn a lot of stuff. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna learn a lot of stuff. Cause Kristin knows blank.
Oh, hi guys. Welcome back to the Kristin Knows Blank podcast. This is such a fun episode because I got to talk to somebody that I like about something I love to talk about, but we'll get to that. Guys, thank you for listening. Please take a second to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast. However you're listening or watching, you're going to see a button that says like or follow or subscribe. Push that button and see what happens. It might kill a pigeon. Anyway, I'm Kristin Key. I'm the host of this crazy mess. You can find me online through my website, kristinkey.com. There you can find all my social media. Follow me, friend me, send me memes, whatever. I also have a Patreon, so please join my Patreon. It's called The Key Party. Not because we swing or put our keys in a bowl, but mainly because my last name is Key and I like to party. And by party, I mean drink tea and crochet. So anyway, join my Patreon. It supports this and all my shows, and it also gives you access to exclusive bonus content and access to my monthly game night called Keyholes Against Humanity. I'm also on Cameo, so if you want to give a unique gift, find me on Cameo. Now, my guest this week is a hilarious comedian. I've known him for years. You may have seen him on the James Cordon show on Comedy Central. Hey, computer lady, play that interview with RAANAN HERSHBERG.
Playing interview with RAANAN HERSHBERG.
RAANAN, thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
I know you're a very funny comic because I've worked with you a few times over the years, but just watching you explode over the last few years in your craft is fantastic. But
thank you.
What is something that people may not know about you? Like what do you nerd out about?
Well, yeah, I mean, I talked. I definitely nerd out about movies, and movie trivia is a big thing with me. I love ever since I was a little kid. I don't know if you remember 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I used to play that. I used to impress or not impress people in my school by I would be able to connect two actors very quickly.
Oh, I love that game. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Do you want to do it? Should I just throw you two real quick?
We could try, but I'll be honest. This could be really embarrassing because I haven't done it in years.
Okay.
So we can try it.
Okay.
But it could very awkwardly end with me realizing I don't know how to do it anymore.
Okay, I'm gonna just give you two. We're gonna see what happens. If it goes terribly wrong, it never happened. I can
give me one. Yeah, maybe we'll. Yeah,
Thanos blip this right out of the episode.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how good I am now. Yeah.
Let's do. Okay, the first two that popped into my head.
Give me 5 seconds in between the two.
You got it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you Charlize Theron. Robert Downey Jr.
Charlize Theron is in Mad Max with Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's in The Dark Knight Rises with Christian Bale. Christian Bale is an American Hustler with Bradley Cooper, and Bradley Cooper is in Infinity War with Robert Downey Jr.
That's amazing. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Well done, my friend. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. All right. So what separates you from the average moviegoer? Because you're this is your thing. You're the movie guy. So what makes you different from the average person that watches movies?
I demand a lot from movies. So I hate a lot of movies. And people are like, oh, is there anything you like? And it's like, yeah, there are things I like so much. And the things I like more than probably you like. The average person likes a movie. You know what I mean? But there's a lot because it's like, I really want so much from movies. There's a lot of movies I do kind of think, aren't that great. So I guess that's what separates me is that I have higher standards.
Okay. Well, in that case, let's get into unpopular opinions. What are some movies that mainstream people are like, that's a great movie? And you're like, no, it's not.
Forrest Gump.
Okay. Wait. And let's go for why, because I think some of us are going, obviously. There was a time when I loved it, but now I'm just like, I can't rewatch it now. But just quick reasons why Forrest Gump is not as great.
It's just like a sentimental horseshit that has no real it's just like putting a halo over a mentally handicapped person, acting like he's somehow like perfect, and then there's really nothing. He's just what's the message? Just that he's lucky. It's just it's just like a sentimental somehow like it supports this idea that somehow mentally handicapped people are somehow better than everyone else, which is condescending.
This would definitely change the trailer if everything that was in Forrest Gump was just like sentimental horseshit, a halo on a disabled person. It's Forrest Gump.
That'd be great if they advertise movies by the thing that's like, it's like really their problems. Yeah, Good Will Hunting is one that I hate.
Why?
Well, that one is like he wrote the movie, and he's just, if you think about it, if you like knew Matt Damon and if you were like friends with him and he wrote this movie, you would be like, this guy is such a douche because he wrote himself as this blue collar tough guy who's also a genius who gets the girl, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, he's just jerking himself off the entire time. If you knew him, you'd be so embarrassed to be friends with him when he showed you that screenplay. Like, you know when if someone tells you a story and they're, the kind of person who every time they tell a story, they're always the hero in the story. And it's to the point where you're like, well, you can't be the hero in every one of these stories. Something suspect. Good Will Hunting is like the ultimate version of that, where he's just put himself in this, like, I mean, I know he acts like that character has flaws, but obviously it's like, I'm tough and I'm a genius, It's
like in a job interview with like, what are your weaknesses? Well, they're really my strengths.
I'm a little too, come on. I'm a little too early for work. Yeah.
Well, we have a new trailer for that one now, too. Blue collar tough guy genius jerks himself off for 2.5 hours.
Watch an actor. Yeah. Because it's like,
how you like them apples?
Yeah. Which is, and many people have brought this up before, but that's such a bad piece of dialogue. Like, because there's a big chance he could say no. I don't like apples. And then he's got nothing. So it's just like, it's such a fucking, I'm not the first person to bring that up, but like, it's like it's just such a, like, it's just bad dialogue. And it's also like a bullshit view of therapy, as if therapy leads to a moment where you finally cry and that's it. You figured it out, and you can go on.
And a therapist is not supposed to touch you ever, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, if my therapist hugged me and just started saying, it's not your fault over and over again, we would have an issue.
Well, in the deleted scenes, Robin Williams puts a finger in his ass too. It's even worse. So it's like, it's not your fault, and this is also not your fault.
That would make me cry. Like, that would totally,
I would cry.
I think I just had a breakthrough, Doc.
Right. This is my fault right now.
Oh my God. Okay, so Forrest Gump, Good Will Hunting. So what are some movies that either they're underrated or this is like your version of, yes, this passes the smell test for RAANAN HERSHBERG?
I'm trying to think of like a really great underrated.
I love American Hustle so much for some reason. American Hustle to me was a great movie. I love
American Hustle. Love Three Kings, David O. Russell's other movie.
Okay.
He makes some great movies. I'll try to, what have I loved recently? I didn't really like that much from last year.
Did you see I, Tonya a couple years ago?
Did not like that.
Really? Okay, then you'll hate Cruella.
Oh, is it a similar thing?
It's the same director, so it's
it's the same director.
Same director, so the way they use music is like a pacing tool.
I heard that they get the origin story, like the Dalmatians like raped her mom or something, or like
I mean, you're so spot on. I hate to give this away to anyone, but there's a lot of Dalmatian on female rape in this movie. It is Disney, so they usually put a lot of that.
But they do. I've been exaggerating a little.
Dark. It's a little dark, yeah.
They do throw her mother off a cliff, right?
I didn't know that was coming, but yes, 3 Dalmatians do throw a woman off a cliff, and you're just like, okay, Disney, here we go. So,
I'm working on a movie about Hitler's origin story, where a pack of Hasidic Jews throw Hitler's mom off a cliff. And
that would make so much more sense than just like, nobody liked my art. Like,
it's more of a justification. Yeah.
Yeah. We could really bond with Hitler on that. Jojo Rabbit. Speaking of good Hitler movies, did you like Jojo Rabbit?
No. But I do like movies. I promise.
I was like, okay, we're going to get to one eventually. Porn. Do you like that porn?
Can I say why? Let me just say why I didn't like Jojo Rabbit. Because they make the kid, well, I didn't think it was that funny, but they make the kid so cute.
He's
that the whole time you're like, he's just gonna like it, but he's also part of the Nazi thing, and you're like, he doesn't really believe in this Nazi shit,
right?
So you're just waiting for him to like fall in love with the girl. There's no challenge. Like, if it was an older kid who had like actual like issues with like Nazis, there'd be like a conflict.
Mom gets hung with her shoes.
Well, yeah, I get that, but there's no.
She does not get hung by her shoes, but
her mom's hanging there. Yeah.
That feels like a challenge to me.
There's no internal conflict, like the Nazi shit that he's indoctrinated with.
Oh, you think he comes out of it too quick, or?
you just
Maybe
don't
he never
believe
comes out of
you
it.
never like, you're just like, well, he clearly doesn't actually think this shit. You're just like
Huh.
you're not surprised emotionally by anything.
Yeah, he's at
What?
an age where anything can sway him. He's at an age where he's too young to
Yeah.
actually be like, I'll die by this. He's at the age where a boner can change his mind.
Exactly, which is what happens. But then it's like it's not like that. It's not like internally you're not watching anything. Like you're kind of like not surprised at all. You're just like, he's gonna just fall in love with this girl and protect her the whole time. You're not really waiting to see him like somehow learn that these Nazi ideas are wrong.
Okay.
Like that would be an interesting movie if he's indoctrinated by this Nazi stuff, and then he starts to slowly realize it's wrong through this girl who he's hiding. But that's not the movie. The movie is him like realizing it. It's like kind of cute to me and kind of shallow. It's also just like this idea that Nazis are like, we're the ones who love peace and we love to dance. Nazis also like to dance. Like, you know what I mean? You could like to dance and be evil. This idea that it's just like this love, hate, like either for love or either for hate is just such a, I don't know. I just thought it was, when you're dealing with the Holocaust, I just kind of want something a little more nuanced,
Okay. Now, when it comes to like intense good versus evil or love, like, does that bother you in all movies, or like, are you cool with like Star Wars epic saga good versus evil?
I tend to get bored by that. I like moral
Okay.
gray areas.
Okay.
I think that's what life is for me. But what's some movies I love? I love. Did you see Roma? I love Roma.
Oh, I heard that was really good. No, I did not. Yeah.
I love Roma. I mean, I love a lot. I mean, I love Jaws. I mean, I love a lot of
Great
movies.
film. Okay, we
Great
found a
film.
nice common ground there with Jaws. Jaws.
Yeah. I'm in this weird place where I'm like, where like you can't think of something just because you're just like, someone says, what's your favorite comic? And for some reason you can't think of any comedians.
I don't even
I'm
know any
like,
comedians. Yeah, what's a comedian? I have a favorite doctor right now for some reason.
Here, we'll do it this way. Name 10 famous movies. And I'll
Okay.
tell you which ones I love out of those and which ones I
Okay.
don't like. And
All
we'll
right,
just go real quickly.
I'm just gonna
It's
pull
hard for
this
me
up.
to think of some.
Okay, Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Okay, Shawshank Redemption.
Pretty good.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. These are all like, I don't know. I mean, Back to the Future is fun. Lord of the Rings, I don't like the good versus evil like bullshit. I'm just bored by.
Amadeus.
Here's my problem with Amadeus.
Oh my god! So this is one of my favorite. I mean, it definitely has some issues, but
I
I've got
like Amadeus, but my issue with Amadeus is it doesn't really capture jealousy the way I feel like jealousy works. The way jealousy works, you don't go, this man is graced by God. Why have I not been graced by God? The way jealousy, if it was a real depiction of jealousy, Salieri the whole time would be like, Mozart's not that good.
he
be
wouldn't
like, "Yeah,
acknowledge his
okay."
greatness.
He's like,
Okay.
he's a little overrated.
I've got some comics that I'm jealous of, and I'm never ever like, they're gifted. I'm like, fuck them. They're fucking hacks.
Yeah, of course. You're not like, why was God grace them with genius and not me? Like,
I do
no one's
sometimes.
that aware.
Well, I do sometimes pray, why God, oh why do I not have Nikki Glazer's legs?
Yeah, well,
But I think
sure.
we all say that, yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
I say that too. Yeah,
now I got a list of movies in front of me. So Schindler's List.
very good.
Okay, great. Okay, so we got 5 movies out here. So far you've said one was meh, one was good. Okay.
I mean, all movies have problems, and Schindler's List has a lot of problems too. But there's a lot of great stuff in Schindler's List.
Okay, let's go mob movies for a second. Let's say just Godfather.
Masterpiece.
Wonderful. Okay, great. Goodfellas.
Masterpiece.
Okay, great. Okay, so we found your genre. Pulp Fiction.
Very good, but overrated.
Okay. It wasn't.
douche. I'm an
it
asshole.
wasn't the weekend. I watched it opening weekend on accident. I think I was supposed to go see something else, and me and my dad sat through it together, and it was
Oh wow.
best thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
It is so. I mean, it is so like. It is such a fun movie. I've like had to rewatch a lot of these movies. I do a movie podcast, and like, I loved it when I saw it. When you rewatch it now, I relate more to some of his other movies more. Like
Sure.
Jackie Brown and Inglourious Basterds and Django Unchained. I think Pulp Fiction is like so entertaining, but there's really nothing emotional to like latch onto in the movie. It's just kind of pure
Oh, yeah.
entertainment, which is great.
Yeah.
But I emotionally I latch a little more onto like a movie like Jackie Brown, where people are getting older and you're seeing kind of like some real
Okay.
human drama, But
Okay.
yeah,
So almost like with like food or whatever, like if you have a really distinguished palate, which like you do for movies, or sometimes you just want junk food. What is your like guilty pleasure movie? Do you have like a bad movie that you love?
This is the thing. I'm such a douche that if I like a movie, I believe it's a good movie. So I wouldn't accept, like, if I like it, it's good. But I'm trying to think of what could answer that.
So you're like, I watched Joe versus the Volcano because it's a masterpiece. It's a
Yeah, I mean, but it is good. But I don't know. I mean, like, I love Ace Ventura, but I also think Ace Ventura is really good.
okay.
So I don't know if that's a guilt. I don't even know what I'm trying to think of what could be considered like a guilty pleasure.
That's a great answer, though. I think Ace Ventura is a great answer because it's not deep. There's no character development. It's just pure popcorn in a movie. It's fun and it's perfectly done for what it's supposed to be. It's hilarious.
And he's amazing, but he's
amazing.
Like,
yeah.
We did some Jim Carrey for our podcast, and like I rewatched Dumb and Dumber, which is just honestly I think just like a masterpiece.
Phenomenal movie. It's a
but
phenomenal
it got like
movie,
60% on Rotten Tomatoes or some shit because critics don't understand. They don't know how to view comedy.
Right. It's so subjective. Because you have Karens that review movies, like they review life, and so you have the Karen factor. Well, I think it is not a question. You are a movie expert, but we're going to put that knowledge to the test right now with 5 quick questions.
It's time for 5 quick questions.
You just have to tell me, did this movie win the Oscar for Best Picture
Oh,
the year it was nominated? Okay, and that's all you have to do. You have to say winner or it didn't win. That's all. Okay.
Best Picture, Oscar for Best Picture.
Did it win the Oscar for Best Picture the year it was nominated?
This is the one I've had on a podcast in a very long time. By the way.
That's great. It's great. I every week I'm like, I'm giving up this podcast. I'm done with it. But then I have a blast with each guest. That's the thing. I'm keeping.
Well, I think you should give up on it. But I'm having.
Yeah. If I did, I wouldn't get like I haven't talked to you in how many years now?
I know it's a
Fucking
way
forever.
to. At a certain point, I only catch up with people through podcasts, or if we're both like going home the same way after a show.
Right. I do this so I feel like I have friends. So thank you for being my friend.
Of course.
Okay. Question number 1. Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings. Yes or no?
It's the third one, and it did win Best Picture, and it beat out Mystic River, which was undeserved. Mystic River should have won.
That is so correct on so many levels. It was nominated in 2003. It did win, and it did beat out Mystic River.
Mystic River won. Sean Penn won. Tim Robbins won.
Wow.
To me, like, Mystic River is a great movie. But anyway, that was one that was robbed.
Question number 2. Did it or did not win the Oscar for Best Picture in this year? Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting did not win Best Picture. It won Best Screenplay, and Robin Williams won. But it did not win Best Picture.
You're correct. The Departed won that year. The Departed beat out.
No.
Damn it. English Patient.
English Patient.
The English Patient won. Okay. Number three. The movie is Aaron Brockovich. Did Aaron Brockovich win an Oscar for Best Picture?
This is a tough one because I actually think no, it did not.
Correct. It did not. It did not. Gladiator beat out Aaron Brockovich, which to me is still bothers me because I like Aaron Brockovich so much.
I love Gladiator.
Oh my God.
I love Gladiator.
And I love Aaron Brockovich. Okay.
And I love Julia Roberts' tits, but I love I'm joking.
Wow.
I've never seen Aaron Brockovich.
Wow. She was, I just thought she was, well, I mean, I guess as a girl, there's just there weren't a ton of female forward movies at the time.
Of course.
So like, it was like, I was horny for Aaron Brockovich for different reasons, for almost political reasons. Yeah. Okay. Number four. Did it or did not win the Oscar for Best Picture in this year? Braveheart.
Did unfortunately win Best Picture, Best Director. It did unfortunately win both of those. I hate that movie. I love Gladiator, but I hate Braveheart.
Braveheart. I loved it at the time. I haven't rewatched it in a while. I had the soundtrack when I was in high school.
Soundtrack's good. It's super homophobic.
The movie or the soundtrack?
I
listened to it. I was asleep at night. That explains so much. Do. Queers. Like, oh man, those bagpipes. I think they're whispering queers.
No. Bagpipes are definitely homosexual, but the movie is like very homophobic.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
There's like a gay prince who's like
Oh,
Literally
yeah.
just everyone's like disgusted by, and you can just tell Mel Gibson's disgusted by, and then it gets, I don't
I mean,
know.
the
it's
way
just-
they cast him, yeah. A gay
Yeah.
prince would have been way more attractive than that, I feel.
Agreed.
But his boyfriend was hot.
One
Unfortunately.
who gets thrown out the window.
Yeah, he was hot. Okay, number five, just the five, number five. Did this or did this not win an Oscar for Best Picture? La La Land.
I gotta remember the real thing and the fake thing. But La La Land did win Best Picture. It beat out Moonlight, but at first they thought Moonlight won, but it was La La Land.
Opposite.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I got you on one.
Wait, it was the other way? Shit.
Yeah, who was it on there? Faye Dunaway. Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty get up there. Warren Beatty looked confused when he opened the envelope. He paused for a few seconds. He looked at Dunaway, puzzled. She took the envelope, read it, and said La La Land. Up came the cast and crew, and then backstage, the accountant from the company jumped up and said he took the wrong envelope and went running on stage.
Wait, so there's a correct envelope and I don't know.
I don't know why
What's
someone.
the wrong envelope?
I don't know why why would you do that to two elderly actors? Wow.
Damn
Okay.
it, I fucking I was
You got
almost there.
four out of 5. You did so
but
good,
nah,
and
this will haunt me on my
I
deathbed.
tried to throw you off with that one. I was like, because even I was like, no, I'm pretty sure it was. Which one did this? Which? Yeah. But anyway, okay. You chit-chatted with me. You played my 5 quick questions. That's my favorite part of every show, and that's where I ask you so politely if you'll play a Rad Lib with me.
Sure.
And now it's time for Rad Libs. Here's what happened. I've written a story specifically for you, but I've left out some parts of speech. All you got to do is give me those parts of speech, and together we're going to make a hilarious story. Are you ready to play Rad Libs?
I'm ready to play. Also, how awkward would it have been if I said no? You just have your little thing and you have to like put it aside.
Oh, great. I guess our interview's over. I'll keep asking you questions about your movies. All right. I need a year.
1984.
Great year. Any significance that year?
I was born.
Aw, what a great year for you. Okay.
Yes.
A lot happened that year in your world. An occupation.
Chiropractor.
Yes. A question.
Is this room occupied?
When do you ask that question? I was like, when do you whip that one out? It said,
Oh, when I'm at like the Eyes Wide Shut parties.
is this room already orgied? Is this occupied? Okay,
Occupied,
great.
yeah.
A disaster.
The Armenian genocide.
Okay. Armenian disasters, plural, so Armenian genocides.
But there's only one though. But okay, I guess it could be plural.
Okay, just for the it's I don't make the rules. I totally
Okay.
do. But it's I need a
All right,
disaster.
Armenian
Perfect.
genocide.
Yeah. And it's a story. It's fiction. This isn't real.
Yeah, the Armenian genocide was real though. I just want to
I believe that there was an Armenian genocide. I'm not saying
fucking get cancer right here. Jesus.
plural noun.
Oceans.
An adjective ending in est.
Best.
Oh, okay. Yes. A fast food restaurant.
Fast food restaurant. Arby's.
Okay. A big fan?
I do think they're good actually. Yeah, I like them.
Okay. Way to go, Arby's. A verb.
A verb. Peg.
Peg?
Yeah.
Okay. Like PEG?
I'm trying to make it dirty. Like when you peg someone with a strap on.
I've never heard this phrase. What is this now?
You don't know this?
You peg somebody. I know. I feel like I should
Like
now
a
that-
peg, like a strap on. Yeah. How
I've
do you
never
not know this?
I don't know. I don't. I'm pretty vanilla, I guess. Peg
It's when
somebody.
someone like have sex with you with a strap on.
Okay. I know a few ladies named Peg. I bet they're really upset about that.
Well, I mean,
Okay, this is
they probably
it
use
makes
one.
this sentence a lot different, so I'm gonna keep it.
Well, that's
And
why
now-
I thought it'd be funny.
Yeah, especially now that
I feel like I'm doing ad libs. It's like a nun here. You're like I'm like a daycare. You're like peg. What is that? Oh.
peg like a peg. You put a peg in a pole. Oh, I get it. That took way too long. Okay, an adjective.
Fat.
Fat. Yes. Excellent. Oh, a side effect, like a medication side effect.
Prolonged ejaculation.
Prolonged ejaculate. How? Oh God.
That's a side effect for a lot of medication.
Prolonged, so you just can't stop.
You just no. You just can't come. It takes you forever to come.
Oh, I was like, you can't stop ejaculating.
keep-
Just a
Just come for
fountain.
hours. yeah. It's just
I think
never
they should
stops.
call that
It's all-
fountaining.
Yeah, it's a big mess.
Prolonged ejaculation. Okay, great. Whew. A leadership role. The story's getting really good. It's getting saucy over here.
I feel like it gets really dirty all of a sudden and really doesn't. It starts out very clean. A leadership role. Prime Minister of Israel.
Yes. Excellent. A liquid.
Seltzer. Have you seen the episode of The Office where Dwight and what's her name, the woman he's dating, play Mad Libs? But they're both really boring, so she just gives like a bunch of non-ridiculous answers.
A nice man.
Yeah.
Ate cat food. Angela Kinsey.
Angela, yeah.
Every single one of them was man or cat.
Good recall.
I listened to their podcast. It's called Office Ladies with Jenna and Angela.
Oh,
and their podcast is phenomenal. It's kind of what got me into podcasts. A title.
Colonel.
Yes. A first name?
Kristin.
My name, Kristin?
Yes.
Oh, I like that. Aha. A number?
13.
Yes. A feeling.
Loneliness.
Oh. An adjective?
Portly.
A mean nickname.
Well, I had a mean nickname in middle school, Nani Man.
Nani Man?
I think my sister could only pronounce that because it was like, my name was Ranan. But then I told a bunch of my classmates and they started calling me Nani Man.
Something you yell.
Fuck.
A dangerous hobby.
Rock climbing.
Yes. And something you say to your spouse.
Something you say to your spouse? I want a divorce.
All right, we have a story. We have a fantastic story. Great story. Just specifically for you, this is it. And it is called Coming to a Theater Near You.
Nice.
Wonderful. Okay. The year is 1984, and everybody is asking the same question. Is this room occupied? The Earth, overrun by chiropractors, is facing extinction. Daily Armenian genocides and showers of ocean water have destroyed most of the planet. All that remains...
I just love how Armenian genocide's been treated like some kind of Sharknado thing. There's Armenian genocides every day.
Daily. All that remains are the best Arby's. Mankind must learn to peg together or die fat. Strap it on, America. Leading the fight against nature and prolonged ejaculation is a retired prime minister of Israel with a bad temper and a taste for seltzer. They call him Big Colonel Kristin. Big Colonel Kristin is 13 minutes of pure loneliness. Critics are calling it portly. It's a film for every Nani man. The New York Times says, fuck! This non-stop thrill ride will make you feel like you're rock climbing. You'll leave the theater saying, I want a divorce.
I love how it's only 30 minutes long and yet it incorporates daily Armenian genocides. A lot to cram into.
How many
13
days
minutes.
are in there? Oh my God. I love that the Earth is overrun by chiropractors and the only thing left are the best Arby's.
The best Arby's, yeah. Daily Armenian genocide.
Oh my God. All right. Well, RAANAN, will you please tell the viewers and listeners where they can find you and what you have coming up?
You can check my just follow me on Instagram. I'll have a bunch of dates up there. It's RAANAN Comedy, RAANAN Comedy. Follow me on Instagram, and also if you want to watch my podcast where I shit talk other movies like that. It's kind of like a good preview for my podcast. I do a podcast with Joe List called Joe and RAANAN Talk Movies. And it's a fun podcast. It's on Apple Pods, it's on YouTube.
Well, I cannot thank you enough for coming on and hanging out with me today.
This is so fun. I'm so glad, and you're always so funny and so nice, and it was great working with you back in the day. So it's a real pleasure to catch up with you.
Same to you. Always good to see you.
Interview complete. Taking RAANAN to a Forrest Gump marathon. Mua ha 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 ha.
Oh, computer lady, that's just cruel. How great was RAANAN HERSHBERG? RAANAN, thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for listening. Whether you're watching or you're listening, take a minute to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast. I'm Kristin Key. I have a website, kristinkey.com. Go there and find all my social media. I put out a lot of content. I'm also on Patreon. Please join the Key Party. It supports this and all my shows. It gives you exclusive bonus content and access to the front row for my weekly show, Friday Live at 5. Big announcement, starting July 20th. I'll be doing a Tuesday live show at 5 o'clock on Rush Tix called Keyed Up with Kristin Key. You don't want to miss that. You can get a ticket to stream in, or you can join my front row if you're one of my Patreon. So join my Patreon and get access to fun stuff. Guys, every week I'm going to be bringing you a new hilarious comedian. We're going to chit chat, play 5 quick questions, do a Rad Lib, and everybody goes home happy. So until next time, bye.
We're gonna talk to some people, gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna learn a lot of stuff. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna learn a lot of stuff. 'Cause Kristin knows blank.